So let me speak a bit about this moment and about its lessons. This is the last chance I'm going to have to speak before the new year, the new secular year. So I thought I would touch on Hanukkah and lessons of solidarity and unity and the whole message of Hanukkah, which is about being the light, no matter how much darkness there might be surrounding us. There's a very, very famous word in the Torah that might be my favorite word, maybe the most important word in the Torah. Everybody should know it. The word appears in this week's Parsha, as it appears in Parshiot, several Parshiot in the Torah. The word is Hineni. Have you heard that word before, Hineni? Hineni appears over and over again. It is a statement that means more than just, I'm here. I'm here would be Ani po. I'm here. Hineni is a more embodied presence. I'm ready. I'm prepared. Hineni. It's mentioned so often in the Torah, that word, that you can't help but realize that it's there to emphasize something. It's there to answer a different question. Maybe it's there to answer the first question in the Torah. What is the first question in the Torah? Adam and Eve had just eaten from the tree of knowledge, the tree that was forbidden to them. They are struggling to process their newfound awareness, and they hear God's presence. The Torah says, walking through the garden, and they decide to hide. Then God calls out the first question of the Torah, Ayeka, where are you? Adam answers, I heard you nearby walking around in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. God keeps pressing him. Did you eat from the tree that I told you not to eat from? So Adam, at that moment, resorts to the classic human reflex when confronted with hard truths. He blames somebody else. It was the woman that you put beside me. She gave me the fruit. Notice that the question, Ayeka, where are you? He doesn't answer. Passes the blame. So God turns to Eve. What have you done? And Eve follows Adam's lead. She also deflects responsibility. She blames the serpent. The serpent tricked me. Ayeka, where are you? God knows where everything and everyone is. Ayeka is about responsibility. Are you paying attention? Are you here? What are your priorities? Neither Adam nor Eve can answer the question. The first time the word Hineni appears in the Torah is right before the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. Abraham says Hineni when he's responding to God's invitation and intervention at that moment. God says, Abraham, Abraham, right? Just as he's about to slay his son, Hineni, I'm here. And Isaac also responds during this scene with the same word. Esav says Hineni when Isaac calls him to be blessed. And Jacob says it twice. The first time in this week's Parsha, when he's dreaming of an angel of God. And the second he says when he's much, much older, reuniting with Joseph in his old age. Moses says Hineni when he sees the bush on fire that is not consumed, when he hears his name being called. Samuel, the prophet, when he is called to serve in the temple, he answers Hineni. And Isaiah responds to God's call for an agent with the word Hineni, send me. The greatest word in the Torah, a tiny 3-syllable word containing a multitude of meanings and dimensions. Like Ayeka, Hineni doesn't mean here I am, right here on Bayview Avenue. It means I am at the ready. To be a Jew means to show up, to be present, to bring your whole self to a moment that requires it. It's a stance, a way of being. More than being about specific answers, Hineni is about the way we see ourselves vis-a-vis others and the world at large. Rabbi Shmuley Yanklowitz puts it this way: the fundamental commitment of being a Jew is to answer the question, Ayeka, where are you? With Hineni, here I am, affirming a sense of responsibility and obligation to the other. Showing up. As Hanukkah approaches, that theme of showing up, of answering Ayeka with Hineni, feels especially resonant. This year, Hanukkah's lights must be more than just a celebration. They have to scream out, Hineni, we're here. The ongoing wars in Israel, synagogues being attacked around the world, challenges with anti-Semitism here and at home, lots of darkness in the world around us. Never forget what the Hanukkah really represents. It is about the triumph of light over darkness, the triumph of hope over despair, the call of Hineni to the question, Ayeka. Hanukkah asks us not just to light candles, but to embody their message. Since October the 7th, I have seen the way our community has tried to live this Hineni spirit. We have prayed together, supported our community here in the diaspora and in Israel in very tangible ways, and stood as one. Tomorrow night, as I travel to Israel, I carry with me the pride of this incredible congregation, a community that has been shouting out Hineni in the most difficult times. The Talmud teaches, when the community is immersed in suffering, one may not say, I will go to my home and eat and drink, and peace be upon my soul. To separate ourselves from the hardships of humanity and the hardships of our people is to sever the bond that makes us one. Solidarity, like Hineni, is a sacred obligation. This lesson, showing up even when it is difficult, is the essence of Hanukkah. The Maccabees, after reclaiming the temple, faced a seemingly insurmountable challenge. With only one cruse of oil to light the menorah, why did they even bother setting it afire in the first place? They knew they didn't have enough to last 8 days, but they didn't give up. They lit the menorah, and in so doing, they turned 1 day of light into 8. Why is the Chanukiah 8 candles and not 7? Because the miracle of Hanukkah is also that our ancestors had the courage to light it in the first place. Rabbi David Hartman taught famously that this act of lighting, in the face of all odds, in the face of uncertainty, that's actually the real miracle of Hanukkah. And it is the embodiment of the faith and resilience of the Jewish people, the people that just showed up and tried, even when success seemed unlikely. And that lesson also finds its way into our Parsha this morning. There's a fascinating scene in Vayetzei where Jacob reprimands shepherds who are sitting idly by the well. He says to them, "What are you doing? Give the sheep some water and go graze them." The shepherds explained that they couldn't because there was a boulder, a heavy boulder covering the well, and they had to wait for more strong shepherds to come and help them. Jacob obviously saw the boulder. Why was he so upset? Why did he push the shepherds? Why did he reprimand them? Maybe they had already tried to move it, but they couldn't. Jacob is upset because the shepherds didn't do what the Maccabees did. They didn't even try. They saw that boulder, too big, determined that they were underpowered. They had fear, maybe laziness, maybe anxiety, and they just gave up. Jacob's insistence that the shepherds at least try mirrors the lesson that Hartman was trying to teach about Hanukkah. In moments of fear and uncertainty, we often feel alone. When darkness is all around us, we sometimes wonder, why even bother? It takes effort to open our eyes to all of the sacred connections around us, to our community, to God, to covenant. And when we put in that effort, we can often find tremendous strength and purpose. Dr. Brené Brown, who's a prominent researcher on vulnerability and courage, teaches that meaningful connections begin with the willingness to be present and engage, even when there are no guarantees of success or safety. Quote, "Connection is the energy that is created between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued." End quote. When you show up, whether it's in our families or our communities or larger causes, that is the starting point of that energy. That's how it all begins. It creates the possibility of transformation. It can change the world. And so, as we prepare for Hanukkah, we should reflect and remember on the holiday calling us to action. Hanukkah means dedication. It is a call to rededicate ourselves to our values, to one another, and to our shared destiny. And it is particularly a time to rededicate ourselves to our national homeland. As I said, I'll be in Israel in a couple of days. I'm going for the convention of the Rabbinical Assembly. And Israel was chosen specifically, purposefully this year. Sometimes they do it in places around the world, mostly in big American cities. But this year, during a very dark time for Israel, our rabbinic organization made the wise decision to summon all of the rabbis of conservative synagogues across the world and allow us to bring some light during a dark time. And you're helping me bring light because I'm carrying with me the prayers, the hope, the hineni, the solidarity of this community. I will be there affirming that at least here at Beth Tikvah, we have a congregation that has shown that we are part of something far greater than ourselves. So I challenge us all. Hanukkah is not only about lighting candles. It is about becoming the light. It is about showing up, answering Ayeka with Hineni, and taking responsibility for our place in the ongoing story of our people. May the lights of Hanukkah inspire us to act with courage and faith. May they remind us that even in the darkest times, we can illuminate the path forward. There is no boulder too heavy, no darkness too thick that will prevent us from trying. So we're going to try. And may we, like the Maccabees, Jacob, and generations before us, find holiness and success in the act of showing up. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Chanukah Sameach. May your lights shine brightly now and always.